Our global project is called Classrooms Around the World. We will have our students collaborate with students across the world and talk about how schools differ from one country to another. They will create Weebly websites where they can demonstrate everything they have learned about the differences in the school systems. In their website, they will talk about the daily routines that happen in their country, the school statistics, the technology integration, and the different types of education systems. The countries we would like to include in collaboration are Australia, the United States, China, and Germany.
So for our locations or websites that our students are going to be using, they're going to use Skype, Screencast or Jing, Wikispaces, and Weebly. So for Skype, the students are going to be introducing themselves to each other within their teams via Skype, and then they're going to record that conversation with Screencast or Jing. And then that conversation they're going to post to websites that they're going to create using Weebly. And then they're going to use Wikispaces to communicate and collaborate regularly about the information that they find. Once they find all that information and their time period is up, they will input that information into their website to create one document that can be shared with everyone.
The age group will be between 6th and 8th grade, and the time frame will be a 7-week-long project. In week 1, the teacher will introduce Weebly, Wiki, and Screencast, and if necessary, Skype. In week 2, the students will complete introductions via Skype. In week 3 and 4, they will collect their data and information. Week 5, 6, and 7, they will create their final project, which is the website. For the learning legacy, they will use Wikispaces to input all of their information that they find on their schools and schools in their country. And they will also use Weebly websites to take all of the information that they found and complete one project for everyone to see around the world.
So for our curriculum, the standards that we have chosen are technology and English language arts standards. For our technology standards, we have chosen standards 2, 5, 11, and 12. For standard number 2, we are going to be using Weebly to communicate. Well, we'll use Weebly to produce digital products, and then we're going to use our Wikispaces to communicate with each other. So for standard number 5, we'll be using Screencast or Jing as our presentation software to be able to present our introductions to each other. Standard 11, we'll be using the Wikispaces, Weebly, and then the research that we use when we find our school data to be able to organize and collect that information. Standard number 12, we'll be using Wiki and Skype to communicate and collaborate on a global level. So for English language arts, we have chosen standards number 22, 24, and 26. Number 22 we'll be using to gather data into the wiki. 24, we'll be using our website, and we'll be writing to inform other students as well as other people globally on our school systems and school systems around the world. And then number 26 we'll be using it throughout the entire project. It talks about writing and writing for a specific purpose.
The prerequisites and the skill levels. The students will create accounts for Weebly, Skype. They will also download Screencast, and they will know how to use Wiki. And they also will need to be able to conduct basic research.
So our guided question, the question that we are using to guide our students throughout the project, is how do our schools differ across the world? Our focus questions that we're using to present to our students to kind of guide them in the right direction is how do daily routines differ between schools in different countries? So in the U.S., we have a lot of students have breakfast in the classroom, or they have PE and lunch, and sometimes they wear school uniforms. We want our students to be able to collaborate and communicate with other students from across the world to be able to know what their daily routines look like. We'll also be asking the students, what do school statistics look like from country to country? So with our school statistics, we are asking our students to look up the demographics, the teacher-to-student ratio, and then standardized testing. We feel that the standardized testing will not be the same throughout different countries, so we want our students to see what kind of data that they can find with that. Another question that we will be asking is, how is technology integrated in classrooms throughout the world? We know that even here in the United States, the technology integration is different because some systems have more technology and some have less. So we wanted our students to find out which countries may have what kind of technology, and not only just how it's integrated, but how the technology itself differs. So our last focus question that we are looking at are how education systems structured in different countries. Here in the United States, we know that our education system is guided by our government, and then under that, each state has a say within their education system, and then also within the counties. And then as well as just with the school itself, we have principals, we have guidance counselors, and assistant principals. We want our students to be able to discover how that may relate to other school systems around the country. So our outcomes, we want our students to take away just that collaboration with each other. We want them to be able to collaborate within the classroom as well as collaborate on a global level. We want our students to also take that connection globally to be able to understand, this is what goes on in our school, but it may not go on elsewhere. So we want them to be able to look at those cultural differences and compare and contrast. Our students will be using the wiki to be able to communicate with each other, and then our website is going to be their final projects that each team will create to present the information to the other teams as well as to other people around the world.
The inputs, students will participate in Skype introductions. This is just they will get to know one another. They will conduct research about schools in their country. And then they will construct a wiki where they can give that information that they found on their school and country to the other people in their team. The information they will provide are the daily routines, the school statistics, the technology integration, and how the education system is in their country. Then they will all build a website together that will be where they provide all this information to other team members and to people around the world. The team structures. Each team will include at least one student from each country. Every student, a part of the team, will complete the introduction. Every student will contribute to the team wiki, and every student will contribute to the team website. The introduction, one student will have to do the screencast to record it, and for the team wiki, one student can be in charge of making sure everyone has provided the information that they need. And for the team website, everyone will contribute to adding information about each country and the way that they differ from one another with the schools.
So our assessments, we're going to be assessing our students in the introduction, in the wiki, and in the website. And how we're going to be evaluating them is through participation, engagement, and collaboration. So during the introduction, we are going to be seeing if the students are participating, whether they're actually, speaking with each other, whether they are engaged, whether they act interested, and then whether they collaborate well. We'll also be looking through their wiki spaces to see if, each student is participating and collaborating well with each other. And then through their Weebly websites, we can be able to see who participated during the wiki to be able to know what kind of participation they introduced in the website with the data, as well as we'll be looking at the engagement and then the collaboration through the website. And we'll also hope to get feedback from the students on the participation and collaboration of the other students.
So for the checklist, with chapter number 1, each child should be able to complete the task that they are given. For chapter 2, the students can conduct interviews with school personnel to gather information about their school and school systems. And throughout the year, our students will be using wikis to work collaboratively on projects, and the technology can be adjusted based on the students' needs. For example, the students can use another program for the video conferencing, as well as a different program to build their website.
So for the checklist continued for chapter 4, The communication that our students will be, or the communication programs that our students will be using will be Wikispaces and then the Weebly website. The students will collaborate and communicate through their Wikispaces as they gather their data. And then the students will be co-creating their websites, as each team will have their own website that they are able to contribute to. So for chapter number 5, we will be implementing the digital citizenship framework during the first week as we discuss the project. We want to be able to incorporate that first thing and just incorporate it into the directions and discussions in the beginning. So if we come across an issue or a problem as teachers, we want to be able to share that with each other. And we want to do that through email, so that way our students won't be able to see through the wiki, if we tried to communicate there, just what kind of issues and how we would solve that. So we're going to use email to go through that. And then we're going to measure our student contribution, like Chapter 6 had showed us, during the project through our Wikispaces. It shows us which students contributed what, how much space each student, how many words that they typed, and that kind of thing. So that's how we're going to be able to measure that contribution.
And for the last 3 on the checklist, students are able to work in the classroom and at home to complete the project. And the students will be able to decide what type of template they want to use for their website, and they can also choose how they will display their information on the website. This will keep the students engaged by giving them a choice on how they will design their website. Students will co-create when using the Wikispaces and website to explain how their schools differ. And lastly, the students will present their websites to the class and discuss what they learned throughout the project. Thank you for watching our presentation.